You've just been in an accident and it looks like it was probably your fault. What do you need to know? What do you need to do to make sure that your legal rights are protected and to make sure that your automobile liability insurance company does everything it's supposed to do to protect your rights and protect your family? My name's Mitch Jackson, Senior Partner, Jackson & Wilson at www.jacksonwilson.com. The reason we're doing this particular video is we want you to make sure you do everything you need to do to be protected by your insurance company if you're in an accident and the accident was your fault. Whether you realize it or not, in the state of California, your insurance company, your automobile liability insurance company, has a fiduciary obligation to take proper and reasonable care of you and any claims that may be brought against you by injured parties involved in an accident that was caused by your negligence or wrongful conduct. Okay? They have a fiduciary obligation to place your interest before their own when evaluating who is at fault in an accident and when evaluating what damages need to be compensated for in that accident. You've been paying insurance premiums so that you're protected by your automobile liability insurance policy. When it's time for that policy to protect you, you have the right to stand up and make sure that's in fact what happens. You have the right to make sure that the insurance company that you've been paying premiums to every month or every year does everything it's required to do under the law to protect your legal rights and to protect your interest. What steps can you take to make sure your insurance company places your interests before its own? Your insurance company does everything it's required to do under California law to protect your legal rights and to protect you and your family from a lawsuit or a claim in a bodily injury case. To protect your legal rights and your interest after an accident, make sure you timely report the accident to your insurance company. Do this by telephone, but also do this by written documentation, whether it's a fax, certified letter, or letter you mail to your insurance company via FedEx. Make sure you documented in writing a formal notice to your insurance company that you were involved in an automobile accident. Once you formally notified your insurance company that you were involved in an accident and the accident was your fault, it's that insurance company's responsibility to do everything it can to properly protect your legal interest and your rights. And it's your insurance company's responsibility to contact the other side, contact counsel for the other side, and work with the other side in both a bodily injury settlement and or providing you with a defense should the case get into litigation and work its way through our court system to trial. How can you make sure this happens? How can you make sure your insurance company is doing everything it can to protect your legal rights and your legal interests? Probably the best way to do this is to send them a separate letter, a letter that goes to a claims adjuster who will eventually be assigned to your case, and in that letter, ask the claims adjuster to keep you up to date once a week or once every other week in writing as to the status of the claim. This will do a couple of things. Number one, it will separate your defense from all the other files the claims adjuster is handling. It will force that claims adjuster to spend time on the file and to keep you up to date as to what decisions are being made by your insurance company with respect to your defense in this particular matter. Some claims adjusters for different insurance companies literally have hundreds and hundreds of different files sitting in their office, sitting on their desk for claims rep defense work. So by sending a letter, making this weekly or bi-weekly information request, you'll be separating your file from all the other files in that person's office. You'll probably get a little bit extra attention placed on your file, which hopefully over time will work to your benefit with your best interest being protected and the claim properly being handled by that particular claims adjuster. Another tip we like to share with people who have caused accidents and want to make sure their insurance company steps up to the plate and properly represents them and defends them, is we ask the person to request that the file be assigned or reassigned to an experienced claims adjuster, somebody that's been there and done that for many, many, many years. Normally this is more important in severe accident or wrongful death cases, cases that probably will be commanding substantial damages, cases where the liability you may be looking at is well in excess of the insurance policy limits that you have with your particular insurance company. So if you're involved in that type of case, you really want to make sure your file's been assigned to an experienced claims adjuster, somebody that has literally dozens of years of experience under their belt, so that they know the best way to properly defend you in your case, and frankly, they'll work very, very hard with opposing counsel to amicably and properly get the case completely resolved within the terms and conditions of your insurance policy limits, so that the matter's concluded. Everyone can close their file, and everyone can consider the case completely resolved. And if that happens, if your insurance company is able to do that for you, then I guarantee you, you're going to sleep a lot better at night knowing that your legal exposure on this particular claim that we're talking about has been completely resolved. If you're worried about whether or not your insurance company is doing everything it can to properly defend you and protect your legal rights, and you have questions, feel free to give us a call. It'd be our pleasure to answer your questions over the phone or in our office and give you some ideas, give you some tips on what you need to do to make things right, to help protect your legal rights. All of our contact information is at our website at www.jacksonwilson.com and also at the end of this video. So make sure that your insurance company does everything that it's promised you it would do. And frankly, make sure your insurance company follows the law and places your best interest before its own. It's been a pleasure sharing this information with you, and once again, if you have any questions or concerns, give us a call. Make today your masterpiece and remind your family and friends to do the same.